Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Star Wars Library, where Star Wars is in print, and we're going back to the old Marvel comic book series to talk about one issue by the legendary Archie Goodwin and Al Williamson. This is a great story, and it's called Supply and Demand, and you can find it in Star Wars issue number 98, which, of course, is still in our final trade by Dark Horse of the Marvel series a long time ago, Volume 7. And basically, this is from 1985, and it was actually included in the classic Star Wars 1995 reprints of the newspaper strips because of the creative team that was on it, the newspaper strip guys. Though technically, it is not part of the classic Star Wars lineup, it is a part of the Marvel lineup. But it is really great to see these guys return. I love, of course, Archie Goodwin's writing, and Al Williamson's art is one of my favorites. Probably my favorite of the Marvel stuff. And then, of course, the newspaper strips are incredible. So, the story. Chewie has left for Kashyyyk, and Luke and Leia have a mission. And, of course, they need to get Han because, well, why do you need to get Han? Well, because he's part of the crew, right? And so basically, we get to see the Fondor shipyard, something that will come up a lot in the more modern expanded universe. So it's kind of cool to see that here in the 1980s. So this planet, Vandalore, need ores for Fondor to build the ships that they need and for the workers to be happy. So they bring home the Venturator ones, and this Han, and so Han and co-pilot Nyan Nub, who we all know from, you can see him there, right here. We all know Nyan Nub from Return of the Jedi. He was Lando's cockpit, often called Pancake Face, and actually, I guess a funny story with Nyan Nub. I was one of the few people, I guess, of my circle of friends who knew who Nyan Nub was, because I remember I think it was the original EA Battlefront that came out, they announced him as like the first of the new heroes, and everyone's like, who the heck is this guy? And I remember like going, Nyan Nub? That's who you pick? Really? And everyone's like, who's that? And again, it was just kind of like, really? They go for this obscure character? Like, he was in Jedi for a couple of scenes, but he was very memorable to me. And so obviously it's very cool to see him in the Marvel Comics being used. Again, we'll see him, of course, in the EU, but not as much as I think as he should have. But anyways, that's beside the point. So basically, the Venerator ones are kids, and these are the last descendants of the people of this planet. And so you can see, Han is allying himself with some right there. And so basically, they're the descendants of the people who set up this whole guild in the first place. So the bad guy is this guild master, and basically, and his name's Orc. So kind of like Lord of the Rings, Orc. And he makes a deal with Admiral Mordor, or Mordor. Again, I guess I have Lord of the Rings on the mind, but to kill the kids. And so basically, there's betrayals in this story, and the cheese factor is very strong with this one. I like the story, again, because of the creative team, but again, it's and there's also kind of moments, too, of like Jurassic Park, like these kids, there's an older, like, little girl and then a younger little boy. And then Han Solo's kind of that Alan Grant, Sam Neill, like I said, from Jurassic Park kind of thing, where he's kind of protecting them and he kind of bonds with them. Now, obviously, Jurassic Park wasn't out yet, but, even the novel I don't believe was out yet. But again, that's kind of what I think of when I see this. So again, it's kind of this story, this cheese factor. And while Jurassic Park, I think, did it really well, this story trope, this doesn't exactly nail it like that does. But it's not terrible, but again, there's a lot of cheese. Lando says Han was to stir the pot so the rebels could find some stuff out. But of course, no, it's this lovely story of Han being this, this great hero and father figure. And And Han's it's kind of cool too, because you're kind of seeing him kind of being like, okay, still kind of trying to get into this role as, hey, I'm not really this smuggler anymore. I don't owe Jabba the Hutt. I've invested a lot into the rebellion, that's going into this new republic. My girlfriend slash, well, future wife, Leia, is, a very political figure, and her brother, and is, now this first of the new generation of Jedi Knights. So he's kind of, it's kind of cool to kind of see Han do that, some reflection, and kind of seeing him, understand that his, what he's destined for, what he's going to do going forward, is going to be a lot more than just smuggling things. His life is changing for the better and for the good of other people. So anyways, to conclude, Star Wars number 98 by Archie Goodwin and Al Williamson. Is this an essential read? No, it's skippable. But like I said, it is a fun story. You do see some character growth in Han. Not enough that I would say, oh yes, it's absolutely necessary, but enough. And I would also say it is just a fun story. If you're looking for a fun Han Solo story, if you're looking for a fun Star Wars story, this is kind of, I would one that, hey, maybe if you're looking for that in the Marvel books, it might be worth your time. But is it, essential for the whole modern expanded universe? No. And you can skip that. You won't miss anything. So that's about it here. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time with another episode of the Star Wars Library.